Hey YouTubers, today I'm working on the 1993 Nissan Pathfinder. I'm doing a valve cover job on both the heads. I'll be removing the valve cover on the passenger side, and I'll be removing the intake manifold on the driver's side. It's going to be half the portion of it. I'll be demonstrating you guys how to do it. Hopefully saves you guys some money and you guys find it helpful. Please give me likes, subscribe, or leave your comments. Thank you guys. So as you guys see, I removed the valve cover on the driver's side. It was being held by 9 Phillips screws. Then you want to remove your harness housing. It's 210s right here, and then you got your hoses for the air. You got one right here and one right here. You use some simple pliers to remove it. I'll be installing it now. When you remove it though, this is going to interfere, so you just want to kind of move this out the way and slide it upwards. So when you install it, it's going to be the same process. I don't know if you guys see these little latches right here. That's what holds your gasket in place. You got them all around. So when you remove it, make some leverage on here to release the gasket, and to install it, then you just want to just kind of tap it to put pressure on there. Once you put pressure, it holds the gasket in place so it won't fall down when you install it. And yeah, that's it. And the actual proper Phillips head I use, it's this you guys can see it. Yeah, you can't see it. It's PH2. Kind of looks like this. It's not an ordinary flathead. Phillip. It's like a thicker Phillip. Because if you use the ordinary, you might strip the screws, and it's going to be a headache removing it. So I'll be installing the valve cover, and I'll be proceeding with the job. So I'll let you guys know as I continue. Another thing I want to mention, make sure you clean the surface of the head where the valve cover is going to be sitting. Get yourself a rag and just give it a quick little clean all around. After you clean it, and you could install it. So when you tighten up the screws for the valve cover, this is a sequence I do it. I usually start from the center to the outside one, this one, cross, outside, and this one, and then this one. And that's how I do it. To put the pressure in the center and distribute the pressure outwards. So that's how I do it. You don't want to tighten up the screws, just hand tighten them to where they're all somewhat equal. And once you do all of them, then go for a second round and then tighten everything. Okay, so this is installed. Next, I'll be removing the upper intake manifold. So I'll be removing the wiring for the spark plugs. It's 2, 4, and 6 on the back, and main distributor coil right here. I'll be unplugging this that feeds it. I'll be unplugging this other sensor back here. I'm not sure what this is. Be removing this, and I'll be removing the wiring for not the wiring, but the cables for the throttle. I'll be removing the TPS sensor, these air hoses right here. Be removing this, the EGR hose. Make sure you soak that with WD-40 before you attempt to loosen it up, because it will be seized because of the heat. And I believe that'll be it for now, but if anything pops up, and I'll be removing this hose for the booster right here, this one. So those are the next steps. So that's next. Okay, so I removed the housing for the filter. Gave me access to see more vacuum lines. So you're gonna have this vacuum line that you're gonna have to remove. You're gonna have to remove I believe there's more vacuum lines back here, but I think there's one, if I'm sure. But I'm gonna remove this as of right now. Remove the line for the booster. So I removed the 2 grounds, 10 millimeters. I'll be removing these T40s. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got 5. It's tool T40. Loosen up the EGR hose. I used a set of crescent pliers. Just get in there and just hit it. Oh, damn, that thing's on there. Okay, so it's giving me trouble removing it. So what I did, I reinstalled 2 bolts on the intake manifold to tighten it up and to keep it stable, so when I put pressure on this, it doesn't move. So I'll be doing that next. Okay, so I loosened up the EGR line. I did this by using the crescent wrench, and it's pretty seized up, so even with the WD-40, I mean, it helps, but it didn't help that much. But you still want to soak it in some WD-40. And what I did, I banged it with the hammer to get that little impact. And takes time, but just have patience and make sure it's real locked up on the nut for the EGR, the pipe. And yeah, just bang it, and eventually you see the results and it loosen up. So I'm at the point where the manifold is loose, but back here you got two water lines, coolant lines. You can't see them, but you got to loosen up this flathead right here where you see my finger moving, and underneath that there's another hose. It's right here. You see it right here? So you got one and one up here. Loosen that up, loosen this up to your valve cover, and should give you access to removing the manifold. Okay, so these were the two hoses I was talking about. Now I removed it, so be careful not to lift it all the way up, because you got a sensor down here. You see the cable, this one, that green one. So you're gonna have to remove that, and as soon as you remove that, it should come out. Okay, so I removed this valve cover and everything seems good. You are gonna have to remove your distributor, so make sure you mark it, because if you install it wrong, you won't get the correct spark at the certain time the cylinder is supposed to get it. So try not to move the gear that rotates when you remove it, and cover up your hole so you won't get no debris or anything in there, because it has to be removed in order to get access to this bolt right here. But yeah, clean your surface and just repeat the procedure of the last valve cover.